Right, I finally got this working. So it's a bit different from what I planned in the previous video, but it works. So I'm going to explain what I've done. First of all, we've got a 130 watt flexible solar panel, we've got a lithium battery, inverter and a charge controller, and we've got the bike generator, which if you're a fan of the channel, you know all about the bike generator. Runs on an alternator, outputs about 13-14 volts. Now the challenge was to combine these two electrical inputs so that we can charge the same battery bank, so that no matter what's going on with the weather or whatever, we can put power into the batteries. Now before I talk you through it, quick mention of our friends at EcoWorthy who've provided this solar kit. We've been using it for a couple of months. It's really good, really reliable. You know the drill, there's a link in the description. They've got some great deals on, so check them out. Alright, so the first thing to mention, just before we launch into this, is that this video is for entertainment purposes only. The reason I say that is if you do this, it will invalidate the warranty on your charge controller, which is only designed for photovoltaic input. So it's at your own risk if you decide to do this. I'm not guaranteeing it's safe. Second thing is you can actually buy units which do what we've set up to do here, but what they tend to do, they tend to be a lot more expensive first of all, and what they tend to do is switch between inputs. So we could either use the bike generator or the solar, but not both at the same time. So we wanted to be able to use both at the same time, and we wanted to build a circuit, right? We wanted to have some fun, so that's what we did. So we've got a pulse width modulator on the output from the bike generator, which we regulate to adjust the effort level for the cyclist. Now we can't run that pulse width modulated output into the lithium battery directly, because lithium batteries need a constant current phase and a constant voltage phase in order to charge properly, which is what the charge controller provides. Now we also can't run the pulse width modulated output into the charge controller because it doesn't like the output frequency. We also need to uprate the voltage from the bike generator to be above the minimum trigger voltage for the charge controller to start charging the battery, whilst not exceeding the maximum voltage that the charge controller wants to get from the total maximum of the PV panel and the pulse width modulator combined. So this is what we've done. We've connected the pulse width modulator output to this socket here on the right, and we've connected into that a DC-DC boost converter. Now this boost converter performs two functions in the circuit. Firstly, it smooths the ripple from the pulse width modulator, and it increases the voltage from 13 to 14 volts input to 16 volts on the output, which triggers the solar power controller. That then outputs via a Schottky diode into the PV input onto the charge controller, and you can see there's an additional Schottky diode there. That's coming in from the PV line from the solar panel, and they're just simply joined into the solar power controller. And you can see a quick schematic of that circuit here, and we've run this for several hours with both inputs working or with just one input working, and it seems to work perfectly well. And we've had over 20 amps going to the battery on this circuit with everything going nicely. One final important thing to add is a fan, as you can see here. That's because the fins, the heat sinks on the DC-DC boost converter get very hot, especially if you're running a lot of current through it. So I definitely set up a fan. This is a 12 volt fan. We've got a 12 volt standard voltage within the bike generator circuit, so it works well for us. Now, I was a bit concerned about using Schottky diodes at first because there is some reverse leakage across the diode, but that doesn't seem to affect either the boost converter or the PV panel in practice, so it's all good. They are very low loss, so really suitable for this application when you want to conserve as much power as possible. The only weird thing I have noticed is that the boost converter tends to drop the voltage on the input, so from the output of the PWM, to around 7 volts, and the output becomes unadjustable for some reason. Now this doesn't seem to affect the function of it at all. The charge controller works, we charge the battery, everything's good. The only issue to remember with that though is that for a given power output from the bike generator, if the voltage is halved, the current is doubled, and we did have a molten wire incident. There was a fuse on it. I don't know why the fuse didn't blow. If anyone's got any ideas, do post them in the comments. So hope you found this interesting. If you do try this yourself and you blow something up, don't blame me, I didn't tell you to do it. If you've got any thoughts, comments, suggestions, projects you're working on, get involved in the comments. We'd love to hear from you guys. And as you know, if you watch YouTube, partners and sponsors are what make this content possible. So do check out EcoWorthy if you're looking for solar kit. We've tested this gear for a couple of months. It's been really good and it's withstood the abuse that we've put it through. So we can recommend it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.